the door quick.
Scared of thunder?
No. I like it.
That's good, because there's gonna be more of it. I brought you food for the kitten, too.
Did you steal it?
No, I bought it.
Oh.
And if we get caught, don't go making up any stories that I did. I'm in enough trouble as it is. You and your kitten.
You want me to go back, Sam?
Shut up and eat.
They looking for me?
Your aunt's got every cop in Iverstown peeping through keyholes.
You won't let them find me.
You always come running to me.
Got nobody else to run to, Sam.
The circus is leaving town tonight. Their train will go right through here. When it does, you just follow me. You run with all your might, and when you grab on, grab tight.
Don't you worry about me, Sam.
Shh, be quiet.
There they are. All right, kids. Unless you got wings, you're caught.
All right, Martha, let's go.
You'll never touch him! You'll never touch him!
Don't rough her, you chump. All right, miss. We'll take you on home to your aunt.
Mr. O'Neill to see you, ma'am.
Show him in.
Mrs. Ivers will see you now.
Good evening, Mrs. Ivers.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mrs. Ivers.
I have good news. Martha...
What about her?
Martha has been found.
I know.
Well, it was Walter who was really responsible for Martha being found. He told the police where she and that boy, Sam Masterson, usually go. Huh? Isn't that so, Walter?
Yes, Father.
The boy will be rewarded.
Well, he's a good boy, and he's bright. If I could afford it, I'd send
Send him to a school like Harvard.
I guess I've mentioned it before.
Many times.
Yes, madam.
Take the boy to the kitchen, Lynch. Give him some ice cream. You may give him a piece of cake, too. Go along.
Miss, thank Mrs. Ivers, Walter.
Thank you, Mrs. Ivers.
You've lost your pupil, Mr. O'Neill. I'm sending her away. I know why you offered to tutor Martha. I know why you made Walter do his daily lessons with her. I know why you want him to live here. A scholarship for Walter, that's why. But I'm not a foundation, Mr. O'Neill. I don't care whether Walter drives a truck or goes to Harvard. Probably be a lot happier driving a truck.
You are expected, miss. Oh, just a minute, miss.
The name's Londine. You'll tell Mrs. Ivers the name of the detective who caught her is Londine.
I'll tell her. I'll take your furs, miss.
No.
You'd better, miss. You know how she feels about that cat. I'll bring it up to your room. Your aunt is waiting for you.
Come closer, Martha. Closer, Martha. Look at me. You don't seem very sorry.
I am. I'm sorry I was caught. No matter what you do, I won't cry.
This is the 4th time you've tried to run away. Each time you were brought back here. No matter how far you got, you were brought back here.
You don't own the whole world.
Enough of it to make sure that you'll always be brought back here. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Your aunt doesn't deserve such an attitude, Martha. There are not very many women who'd be as patient and as kind. And there aren't very many little girls who'd be as ungrateful.
When will you understand that I'm doing all this for you? That I'm trying to wash the dirt and grime off you, make an Ivers out of you again.
My name is Smith, the same as my father's was.
Your name is Ivers. I've had it changed legally.
I don't care what you've done.
Your name is Ivers, the same as your mother's was before she was stupid enough to marry
Shut up! Shut up!
How dare you?
Shut up!
You've still got his foul mouth.
I won't let you talk that way about my father.
Your father was a nobody, a mill hand. The best thing he ever did for you was to die.
Kill you! Kill you! I'll kill you!
Stop!
It's all right, Mr. O'Neill. Go up to your room and get into some dry clothes. After you've had dinner, I want to have a talk with you.
It's late. I'll go get my son. Good night.
Stay. I'm upset. I want someone to talk to.
Yes, Mrs. Ivers.
Lynch told me to sneak bundles to you. I thought you'd be hungry, so I sneaked the milk, too.
She hates cats. She hates everything I like.
A policeman came to my house this morning. He asked me if I had any idea of where you could have gone. My father said it was my duty to tell them.
Your father.
I didn't say a thing. No matter what my father told your aunt, I didn't say a thing.
I'm cold. I've got to change my clothes. I'll leave the door open so I can hear you.
My father says you're foolish. My father says that someday you'll have everything in the world. My father says that if we only had one little part of what you'll have, I could go to Harvard.
You're what?
I could go to Harvard.
The lights! What happened to the lights?
They went out. I think they went out all over the house.
There's a candle and matches on the table near the wall. Oh, you stand still. I'll do it.
Don't you think I'd better go up and see if Martha's all right?
Martha will be all right anywhere. Your play.
I'm afraid of the thunder and lightning. Draw the curtains. I'll go in to change.
Martha!
One peep out of you and I'll break your nose.
I won't say anything. Martha! Martha'll tell you I won't say anything.
What is it? Sam! You see, Walter, I told you they'd never catch him. Sam, button me up.
I came to say goodbye. I thought it over, Martha. It's better for you here.
I won't stay here. I hate her.
All you gotta do is play smart with her.
I'm going with you.
Now you listen to me.
I don't want to listen.
It's late. I gotta go.
Let him go, Martha. If he's caught here, he'll be sent to reform school. Mrs. Ivers said so.
They gotta catch me first.
All right, Sam. If you won't take me, I'll go without you. I'll go off by myself.
Okay, then let's go.
I want to run up to the attic. I want to get a couple of things. Sam! Quick, Sam! Sam, bundles. She's going downstairs. Sam, my aunt.
I'll get her.
Hey, get it. Sam, have you got it? Have you got it, Sam? Hurry, Sam, or that old witch will catch us.
She's dead.
We were upstairs. We heard a noise, and we came down. We saw a man, a big man. He was leaving. Out of that front door he left. See, it's open. And she was lying there. And this was lying there, too. I picked it up. Isn't that true, Walter? Isn't it?
Is it, Walter?
Yes, Father. It is.
Put it down. Put it exactly where you found it. Both of you better go upstairs. I'll phone the police.
You'll never get away with it, never.
Your father believes me.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
You keep your mouth shut.
But Sam, what about Sam? He was in the house, he saw it.
Sam will never tell.
Yes, he will, he's scared. That's why he ran away after it happened.
Sam will never tell.
Sam's scared. He ran away, I didn't, I stayed.
No, he won't. Not Sam, not Sam.
I want to talk to you both. Sit down. Now, when the police come, you will tell them exactly what you told me. Do you understand, Martha?
Yes, Mr. O'Neill.
And you too, Walter?
Yes, Father.
You poor child. You'll be all alone in the world now, except for Walter and myself. But you needn't be afraid. We'll always be with you, Walter and I. We'll never leave you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Neill.
At the fairgrounds last week. In the handicap, Chestnut King looks like an odds-on favorite.
That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Chestnut King's a dog. He was losing races to cow ponies years ago in Tijuana. Well, what do you know? What do you know about that? How do you like that, sailor? Leave a place when you're a kid, maybe 17, 18 years ago, and you forget all about it, and all of a sudden you're driving along and smack-o, your own hometown up and hits you right in the face. End of the line, sailor. Come on, wake up.
Where are we?
In a small accident.
What happened?
The road curved, but I didn't. Come on, I've got to put into Iverstown for repairs.
Next time, I pick me a guy that don't fall asleep.
Welcome to Iverstown. Well, maybe this time they mean it. We got anybody here to fix this wreck, mister?
Roll her in.
10 more, you don't make it.
Bet. 5 more, you don't.
Bet. Not you.
Shoot.
10 more, you don't make it.
How long will it take, Pop?
Can't tell till we look her over. Come back tomorrow.
Open game?
Nope.
5 more you don't. That.
4. Right back, little Joe.
20 to 10, no 4. You got it, Bet. Come on, Harry, make 4.
7. You shoot, Joe.
Thanks. Shooting 20. You fellas got it. 10 more, you don't make it. Then I do.
How much will it cost, Pop?
Won't know till it's done.
Hey, now look, I want to know now.
Take it someplace else.
Welcome to Iverstown.
We interrupt this program of dinner music to bring you a special broadcast in the interest of the re-election of District Attorney Walter P. O'Neill.
Hey, no, leave that on, will you, Pop?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with deep regret that we are forced to announce that Mr. O'Neill will not be able to address this citizens' forum tonight. Mr. O'Neill was suddenly taken ill, but we are fortunate to have the best-loved civic figure of Iverstown, the gracious Mrs. O'Neill, here in the studio tonight to speak for him.
Citizens of Iverstown, the issues in this election are simple.
That's enough of that malarkey.
Say, this, Walter P. O'Neill, isn't that the kid that used to live on Sycamore Street? His father used to be a school teacher.
Yeah, that's him. You know him?
Yeah, I used to. Little scared kid on Sycamore Street. Now he's running for the district attorney. What's the odds?
On what?
The election.
No odds, no takers. This is a sure bet, mister. Gonna be reelected. Gonna be governor. And I'm making book right now that someday he'll run for president. Yep. Gonna be whatever his wife wants him to be.
Some gal. Who'd he marry?
You from this town?
Used to be.
You ought to know her then. Old Lady Ivers' niece.
Martha Ivers?
Yep. Came into the whole works after the old lady died.
Well, what do you know? What do you know about that? Martha Ivers. I don't know. You still look like a scared little kid to me. Hello, Gallagher.
Hey, wait a minute. Do I know you?
Sure. I'm the guy who tossed a rock through that window once. And you're the guy who chased me.
If I chased you, I'd bet I caught you.
Come to think of it, I believe you did. You live here?
Used to.
Who runs this place?
Lady, the name of Mrs. Burke. She's not home.
You waiting for her?
Just came back to get my things. I've been away for a while. I'm waiting for a taxi.
I used to live here in this house 17, 18 years ago. I was born here.
Don't kid me, you're older than that.
Well, I didn't move right after I was born.
Got one to spare? Got some more matches?
I can have these.
Got the time?
Yeah, it's 11:15.
Now, ain't that just dandy? And I've got an 11:30 bus to catch.
You can still make it.
Now, if the taxi doesn't show up fast.
You know anybody who lives around here the name of Masterson?
No.
Know anybody in town at all by that name?
No, I'm from Ridgeville. Is your name Masterson?
Yeah.
You mean you're just getting home after 18 years?
Well, 17 or 18.
You're just getting around to looking up your people.
No, not exactly. I just happened to be driving through on my way west and got more or less curious, that's all. Oh, good luck.
What you gonna do?
What do you mean?
I mean about your people.
Well, I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe tomorrow I'll go down to the courthouse and look up the deaths in the last 18 years.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I think so. Good night.
The bus terminal. Please hurry. I've got an 11:30 bus to catch. Masterson. I thought it was you, Mr. Masterson.
Well, I'm glad to see you again. I gave you my last match.
Want to lift any place on the way to the bus station?
You talked me into it. You got my matches. Got a name?
Toni. Antonia. Toni Marachek. Ain't that a dilly, Mr. Masterson?
Sam.
Please hurry.
The depot's just across the tracks. You still got 4 minutes. You'd have made it if you didn't stop to pick up your gent.
Might be able to chase it.
I can get a bus back to Ridgeville tomorrow. Maybe I won't get a bus back to Ridgeville. Maybe I'll go someplace else. Maybe in another direction. Chicago or further west, maybe. Have you ever been out west before?
No.
I've never. But maybe I will. What's it like?
Big. You want to go back?
Can't go back there. I'll have to go someplace else. Do you drink, Sam?
Yes, I drank.
I'll buy you one.
Okay.
Too bad. You want me to check your bag in the station here?
I don't know. I guess I want it at a hotel.
You want me to take you there?
Do you happen to be at the Gable Hotel?
Yeah?
Can I go there?
It's a public place. Yeah. Tell the clerk that Sam Masterson wants a room for a young lady. She'll register when she gets there.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Keep it. Class C. Blue lights, music, everything.
A cafe.
When I lived in this town, there were nothing but saloons. My father used to live in them.
Mine, too.
We're related.
I'll have the same thing you had, if you don't mind.
Scotch. I take a plain water chaser with that when the scotch isn't so good.
2 water chasers.
Did you drive far?
About 600 miles since this morning.
You aren't driving anything tonight.
Oh, my Stanley steamer's in the garage having her face lifted. Better bring us a couple more before curfew.
Oh, swell.
That'll be $2.
On me.
Oh, thanks. Maybe you'd like to drink to finding your people.
Oh, my mother wouldn't approve of that.
How would you know after all this time?
After all this time, you probably wouldn't care, one way or the other.
You talk awful cold-blooded about them, don't you?
That's life.
Is it a big family?
No, it wasn't. Besides me, they're just the usual 2 people necessary to increase the population. Mother left when I was a baby, and my father probably drank himself to death by now.
Another man I know talks cold like that's my dad. He's the most cold-blooded man in Ridgeville. Once he kicked me, it made me sick.
I can guess why you didn't break your neck to catch that bus back to Ridgeville tonight.
I probably would have got on and got off before it started out. Probably would have got the jitters the minute I got on. Anyway, it's gone now for tonight anyhow. There won't be another one until tomorrow night. And now I know for sure I'm not going to make that one either. Not the one to Ridgeville, at least. But I'm so glad you came to have a drink with me tonight. I was so lonesome, I'd like to have died. Have you ever been that lonesome?
How lonesome is that?
Not as much as you can hold without busting open. Want to know how I got that way?
Curfew. Shall we go home?
The reason I picked the hotel, your hotel, is really very...
You read the hotel advertising on that when you had it.
You're smart. Maybe you think I've been trying too hard to get acquainted.
Maybe you have.
Maybe you think that's wrong.
Maybe it's too soon to tell.
I wonder what you're thinking.
I don't think you'll take up too much room in my Stanley steamer.
Maybe you're all right.
You think you can hold that thought all the way to the coast? We better wait here for a minute. Hey, I want to ask you something. Does that guy look like a scared little boy to you?
He looks like he's gonna cry any minute. Let's get away from here.
Is Mr. O'Neill in?
No, madam. Not to my knowledge.
Walter.
Hello. No words? Have a cigarette. My lady's lips.
I'll ring for some coffee for you.
No, thank you. I'll have another drink.
Walter.
If there's to be a discussion, I'll need another drink. Otherwise, I shall neither hear nor be coherent when and if I reply to whatever it is you're about to say.
Did you forget that you were supposed to speak tonight?
I didn't forget. It's nice. Your room, I mean. It's been a long time since I've been here.
Where were you?
Getting drunk.
Where?
I'm still the people's choice. I did not make a public display of myself anywhere.
You realize, of course, that you will one day, inevitably.
Inevitably.
It's your career, not mine.
What's mine is yours.
Don't you think I'm entitled to an explanation?
What do you want me to say?
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I'd prefer that you would.
All right. When did you get drunk? Where did you get drunk? Why did you get drunk?
Don't stand over me like that. I'm a sentimental man, Martha. I started to get dressed, and then I realized it was the 4th anniversary of my father's death. I thought it'd be nice if I went to the cemetery and laid a wreath of flowers on his grave. However, I never got there. Sentiment overwhelmed me. I stopped off to have a drink to his sainted memory. As I drank, I thought to myself, it's such a pity that my father isn't alive. To be able to see for himself all his dreams come true. The dreams he worked so hard for. His son, a famous man, married to a beautiful and wealthy woman.
All right. Now tell me why you got drunk.
Because I couldn't get up and speak before people.
Walter, listen to me. What's done is done.
The deed's done, not the thought.
You've got a life to live.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
A brilliant career.
My father always said that.
Your father was right.
He was never right about anything. From the day he walked in and found your aunt on the floor.
I told you I never want that mentioned.
The day he sat beside you in the courtroom. As I, the public prosecutor, demanded that the state take the life of a man for the brutal murder of Mrs. Ivers. And my father said nothing. I looked at him, but he said nothing.
Your father was a realistic man.
My father, may he rest in peace, was a greedy man.
The man they executed was a criminal. If he hadn't hanged for that, he would have hanged for something else.
A man was a man, and justice is justice. That's the way it is. I can't get up and speak before people. The words stick in my throat. I'd rather get drunk. I do get drunk. I did get drunk.
Walter, dear, listen to me. If you carry a thing in your mind that makes you sick, I want you well. Tomorrow...
It'll be like today.
You will leave on a trip for your health for a few weeks.
Will you go with me?
No. I'll stay here.
And I'll stay here, too.
What do you want to do? Give everything up? Is that what you want to do?
You wouldn't let me do that, would you, Martha?
Do you want to?
I don't know, Martha. I ask myself that question all the time. If my father were alive, I could ask him. Only I know what his answer would be. He'd say to me, keep what you have and make her live up to it. Make her live up to her bargain. That's what he'd say.
I am living up to it, Walter.
Another drink left? Might as well have it. The bottle's empty now. Good night, Martha. Tell me, Martha, what shall I do about my love for you? Tell me, Martha, why I don't abandon all this. Why I don't just throw it back in your face.
You tell me, Walter.
Well, this is it. Not good, not bad.
With bath?
With bath, and come out, wherever you are.
With bath, eh? There's half as many baths as there is rooms. Half the rooms has baths and half hasn't. That's one way of looking at it. Another is, for each 2 rooms, one has a bath in the middle and the other hasn't. Or, you might say, there's a half a bath to each of 2 rooms.
How is that again, now?
There's half as many baths as there is rooms, and if the 2...
Sorry.
I've already sent the boy with those bags up to your room, Mr. Masterson.
Oh, well, they belong to Miss Marachek here. They came in my name because she wasn't registered yet.
I missed my bus to Ridgeville.
Oh, that's too bad. The boy went off at 12. You'll have to manage yourselves. I can't leave the board.
Thanks.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Good night, Cupid. 25. Your room number's 25. I'm 23. Makes us neighbors. Why did you buy a ticket to Ridgeville if you didn't want to go back home?
I didn't. I didn't buy the ticket. I got it, but I didn't buy it.
You all right?
I'm a little cold, maybe.
Better get out of those wet clothes.
I've started your bath for you. Hurry up now, I'm next.
Thanks. loan you a book for a couple of cigarettes. If you don't mind what kind of a book it is. That pine soap makes you tingle all over.
There's something very personal about soap. It's almost as personal as a toothbrush.
I won't use your toothbrush.
Where's your book now?
You don't care what kind of a book it is?
The suspense is killing me.
It isn't my book. Somebody here before forgot and left it. I warned you.
There's one in every room of the hotel. There's one in practically every room of every hotel in the world. It tells all about it there in the first page or so.
Well, what do you know?
No, don't get up. I want to look at you a minute. That's really a picture.
Throw me a match. So you're leaving tomorrow?
Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow. That is, if the car's fixed.
Sure you won't mind me being a passenger?
No. Glad of the company.
Are you gonna stay in the West?
Maybe, maybe not. You might get lonesome again.
I've been lonesome before. I was so lonesome tonight, I'd like to have died.
I know, you mentioned that.
But I tried to tell you why.
Look, I'm gonna take a shower.
I just got out of jail. I just got out tonight.
Like I said, we leave tomorrow. I think you like that. Open up, Sonny. Try that door. Mr. Masterson. You don't have to show me who you are. I can tell by the smell. My nose isn't that big. I want to see
The chief sent us up here to ask you a couple of questions.
Sergeant Masterson.
Suspense is killing me. What do you want to know?
You've been around. Look at that. Africa, Anzio, and Normandy.
Why don't you wear that button in your coat?
The same reason you don't wear your badge. I like it incognito. Now, what else do you want to know?
What we wanted to know, this layout told us. There ain't nothing you can add to it.
She didn't get in an accident, did she?
She's in the can for a nice long stretch.
What's the charge?
Violation of probation.
Probation for what?
Theft. Terms of her probation when she was released yesterday was that she returned to her home in Ridgeville. An hour ago, we picked her up at the depot and she tried to cash the ticket.
Well, maybe she wanted to go by train. Maybe she wanted to walk. There's no law that
That's
says
not
she...
the reason she gave, wise guy.
No?
No. The reason she gave was that she'd got a job. Said you were her employer.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing if you can prove it. But take a tip from me, Bud, don't try it. Jake and me don't like to waste our time testifying in court. But we will. So long. Exhibit 8, Bud, in case you get stubborn.
Hey, now, wait a minute, copper. All right, leave her things alone.
You want to come along, soldier?
Little scared boy. You're just about to do your old pal a great big favor. How do you like the way the election's going this beautiful morning?
The election's going good every morning.
Look, honey, Miss,
St. John.
St. John.
Bobby,
Better still.
what can I do for you?
In?
In, but not yet ready to face the world. Won't you sit down?
Look, honey, I'm in kind of a hurry. Would you take a note in for me?
When he buzzes. Here.
I'll take calls now. Come in.
There's a gentleman to see you. He says it's very important.
Tell him I don't want to. Wait a minute. Never mind, I'll tell him myself. Sammy Masterson.
My little Walter O'Neill.
We were kids together, Miss St. John. I wouldn't have known you, Sam.
Well, I wouldn't have known you either, Walter, only I saw your picture.
My picture? Oh, yes, yes, of course. I don't want to be disturbed unless it's very important.
Yes, Mr. O'Neill.
How long has it been?
Oh, 17, 18 years, something like that.
That long?
We were just kids, you remember? The three of us?
Yeah. The three of us.
Thanks. What's she like, Walter?
Beautiful. I married her.
I know. You've done all right.
I guess so. And you, what have you done?
Knocked around, seen a lot, I guess. You know, had some fun, maybe.
What have you done mostly?
Lately or mostly?
Mostly.
Gamble.
You mean gamble?
Sure. That's my business.
Perhaps this is where I should remark that all life is a gamble.
You don't need to bother, I know it. Some win, some don't.
You needn't have made that point. I'm sorry, Sam. This has been a stuffy conversation. Oh, would you like a drink?
Isn't it a little early in the morning? I haven't even stopped for breakfast yet.
The occasion.
You talked me into it. Fine.
Nice of you to look me up, Sam.
Well, I wouldn't have bothered you, Walter, only, I met a girl, and you can help.
You don't look like you need help with any girl.
Now, this trip out I do. This kid's in jail.
What's the charge?
Violation of probation. Name is Toni Marachek.
That's not easy to square, Sam.
Oh, you can do it, and you will. For old time's sake.
For old time's sake.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
Mrs. O'Neill is here to see you.
Please have her wait. She usually drops in on her way downtown.
Oh, I'd like to see her.
Have Mrs. O'Neill come in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy. I'll wait.
Hello.
Hello.
The name is Masterson. Sam Masterson.
I'm sorry. Sammy Masterson. Oh! Oh! Hello!
Well, I'll do that again. Hello.
You should have called me.
He just came in.
Well, you've grown to be a big boy, Sam.
Well, I always was big for my age, you remember?
Yes, I remember.
Anything else you remember?
Oh, well, there are lots of things.
I never figured that a skinny little mutt would grow up so beautiful.
I thank you for my wife.
That sounds funny.
What does?
Well, you're saying my wife.
Does it?
Oh, now don't get so, Walter. I mean, well, I've always thought of Martha's... Well, you know how it is. You keep something in your mind since the time you're a kid.
How long are you staying, Sam?
Well, that all depends on our district attorney.
Oh?
Yeah, I may have to pull out in a couple of hours.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's the way things are, you know.
I don't want to be disturbed.
Well, that's all right, Walter. You're a busy man, so I'll blow. And, thanks. Thanks for everything. So long, Martha. Aren't you glad now you missed that circus train?
I don't know.
Where can I reach you, Sam?
Oh, the, Gable Hotel. And you will do that for me, won't you, Walter?
I'll try my best.
You do that. And here's hoping you win that election.
Thanks. I will.
What, sure thing?
Ask Martha.
Sure. Sure thing.
What odds you give it?
A sure thing is never a gamble.
No? What odds will you give that that's a fact? Breezy character, Sam.
Thank you.
Very sure of himself.
He always was.
This is the first time I've ever seen you off balance.
I wasn't aware of it.
I was.
It came as a shock.
Yes, it did. To me, too. Sam will never tell. I'll never forget you saying that.
What makes you think he will?
What makes you think he won't?
How long has he been here?
He came in last night.
Did he tell you much about himself, where he's been, what he's been doing?
I thought you'd ask what he wanted.
What does he want?
He's playing it smart.
Sam was always a smart boy.
All he wanted was for me to get his girl out of jail.
His girl?
That's what he said he wanted.
What do you think he wants?
What he can get. He's a gambler, a sharpshooter, an angle boy. They come through my office by the hundreds. Couldn't you see blackmail in his eyes?
I haven't your experience with criminals.
You will. When Sammy starts to shake you down.
Release the girl. Maybe he'll just pick her up and leave.
Leave? Do you think he'll leave a touch worth millions?
There's only one way you'll find out. Release the girl. Goodbye, Miss St. John.
Yes, Mr. O'Neill.
I want a routine check on a Samuel Masterson, non-resident, registered Gable Hotel. Miss St. John, close the door. I want a routine check of all garages. One of them has his car. Stay here, please. I want to check up on all local banks. Get that private detective McCarthy and tell him to come right over. Thought I might improve my mind while I waited.
Boswell's Life of Johnson. Surely you didn't expect to wait that long.
I was just going to look at the pictures. I found your message when I got back to the hotel.
I asked you to phone.
I figured you wouldn't mind if I came in person.
I figured you would.
Why?
You impressed me this morning as a man who would bet on anything.
Almost anything, depending on the odds.
I'll bet you'd like to hear the story of my life.
What do you bet?
My story against yours.
You got a bet.
Well, let's see. You left here September 27th, 1928. We'll start from there.
The exact date? How come that's so clear in your mind?
Why shouldn't it be?
You know, I used to think this was the swellest spot in the world. But you really made it just that.
Used to be so dark and ugly when she... I hate it. Come on, I'll show you what I've done with the rest of the house.
Okay, fine. I haven't been on a rubberneck tour in years.
Soon after my aunt died, the executors of the estate wanted to close the house and send me to school. But Mr. O'Neill...
Mister? You're kind of formal about your husband, aren't you?
Oh, no, I was speaking about his father. Mr. O'Neill was my tutor. You remember him.
Oh, yeah.
After my aunt died, he and Walter lived here.
That was cozy.
This is Walter's room.
Rich. Very rich. Well, you lived here all the time then, huh?
Except for the few years I went to college. Mr. O'Neill, Walter's father. Walter's father thought it would be good for me to get away for a while.
Mr. O'Neill, Walter's father, he sort of took care of everything, didn't he?
Yes. Yes, he took care of everything.
You didn't like that?
Let's talk about something else.
What do you want to talk about?
Pick a subject. This is the dining room.
Isn't it kind of crowded? All right. I pick Walter as my subject. When did you marry him?
When or why?
I ask when.
When I finished school.
All right. Now, why did you marry him?
Pick another subject.
It's your turn.
You.
An open book. I went out of this town with the circus, the one you were supposed to go with. Made friends with the animals and lived happily ever after. Almost.
Almost?
Yeah. I got ambitious, and that tore it, but good. I got so I wasn't satisfied just being friendly with the animals. I got so I wanted to own the animals. So I bought some animals. Well, my lion got the mange and gave it to the monkeys. The animals became a responsibility and a liability. I lost all my hard-earned cash and ran like a thief out of there with a great yen to become friendly with people. Now, on that, I had some success, me being a gambler and people being what they are. Well, that brings us up to my 21st year when I became a man, officially.